Good morning, friends, family, channel viewers, and whoever finds their way to these terrible, terrible videos. It's Freestyle Friday, and I like Fridays. As my wife puts it, it's the day that I get to pretend to be an influencer. And let me give you the backstory on that. I was explaining to my spouse, in my case it's a wife, that on Fridays I do the usual car thing where I open them up and show them to you and stuff, and then I answer questions. And she said, "Oh, that's the day you get to pretend to be an influencer." And I'm like, "Pretend?" And she said, "How many subscribers do you have?" And I said, like 400 and something. And she's like, "Yep. When you have 1 million subscribers and you're answering questions that people ask, you'll be an influencer." And I took that as a fair point. I'm not really, and so she said, Fridays are the day you get to pretend to be an influencer. I didn't really take offense to that. And I'm kind of used to it. Like when you're in a marriage, when you're first married, you like pump each other up. "Oh, you're so great. I love you. You're so attractive." Blah, blah, blah. And then after like 10, 15, 20 years or so, you kind of become like each other's biggest critic, and you bust each other's balls. And I guess to make sure that neither one of you gets too full of themselves or too confident, because you might start to think that you can find a better mate or something. So it's in my case, this is my opinion, and it's in a wife's best interest to keep you down and bust your balls so that you don't think that you're great. Because if the minute you start thinking you're great, you might think you're worthy of somebody better than her, which isn't likely to happen, but I think it's primal. It's like built in or something. So anyway, that went way off the rails. Fridays are the day that I get to pretend to be an influencer, where I get questions from my meager little subscriber viewer count. But it really, I got a lot of questions via email or on comments, so I figured I'd just like consolidate them in one day rather than answering them for everyone instead of just answering the comment or whatever. So it's Freestyle Friday, and after these cars right here, I'm gonna answer 2 questions. So you can stop viewing if you want. I'm not pretending to be anything. So I've had pretty good luck in finding the P as in Paul case cars. And I'm keeping all of these. Like Friday's all about me, where I get to pretend to be a collector and pretend to be an influencer. So I collect this casting, and here's yet another one. There aren't a ton of them. I think there's like maybe 15, 16 of them. So had to have this one. And it would be really cool to have this truck. Even a base model, not the Cyclone, would be cool, because then you could like pep it up. But for now, I'm happy with the diecast. Hold on, the dogs want to go out. 1 second. Okay, everybody settled. And this beauty, it's got a long name. It's the 89 Mercedes-Benz 500 SEC, which S-Class Executive Coupe. I keep meaning to look that up, but I don't know what SEC means. AMG, which is like their sporty M TRD SVO division. So if you see the AMG attached to the car, you know it was expensive. Nice blue coupe, executive coupe, S-Class or something. But we've seen a few of these: black, red, gray. Well, what do they call it? Pearl, champagne pearl, which I swear to God, there's like a variation, not an error or like a declared variation, but maybe different factories or something, because the Pearl Champagne version of this car comes in a much more gray version and a much more greeny champagne yellow color. The Salt Shaker, not a car I ordinarily would go in for, but look, it's an X Racer, so gotta have it. Wow, blue. Look at all that blue feedback. So, yeah, it's a Salt Flat Racer, I guess. Second color for the year. Red. I think the first one was green. It's got rockets. So, not street legal. This car is not street legal. This little buddy, I'm a fan of the El Segundo Coupe. This is like a spin-off, the Rally version. So it's a El Segundo Rally. Get it? And it's new for 2025. I feel like this is going to be a pretty big hit this year. Like, people are going to be buying this one, like more so than they buy most fantasy cars. So you got the aero discs, which is probably typical for your prep to hit a tree rally car. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to the El Segundo Coupe. Oh, it's got lights in the front. The RX-3 in yellow, and I think this is the first color for this year. We've seen this, and it's been in the premium Japan Historics last year. I think that was last year. But as far as like mainline release, I think this is the first one this year in yellow. It's kind of a canary yellow. They never say that, but I mean, that's not yellow. That's lemon, not even lemon. It's like canary yellow. It's very light yellow. But I like the Mazdas, the RX-3s, the RX-7s, the 77Bs. I basically collect them all. I don't think there's any Mazda, like the Repu, and yeah, any Mazda that Hot Wheels has released, I pretty much keep. Pretty excited about this one, the Huracan Surfaro in yellow, and that's much more yellow. See, this is yellow. This is canary yellow. And I've kind of lost track of the colors. There was a white one, there was an orange one, and I have the black Target Red Edition one. But I hunt every one of them, and now I have one, so I'm good. Hopefully I'll find some more for Ignition Diecast, so you can buy one. Here is this treasure hunt. I'll show it to you when I rip it off. Audi. It's a 84 Audi Sport Quattro. And I use that word flexibly. I collect this casting. Though there's some that I just not interested in getting because they're too expensive. Oops, sorry. There's the treasure hunt symbol. Where it is on the car? I haven't even looked yet. Is that it? I think it's on I think that's it. I can't really make it out. Yeah, that's it. It's down there. That's the symbol. See it? So treasure hunt or not, I wanted that car. It's kind of, in a way, it's kind of, well, I have it now, so I don't care. But sometimes there's cars I want that are treasure hunts, and I'm like, sucks that it's a treasure hunt because people are going to be looking for it and buying them all up, and I just want it because I want that car. And this one, which is a debut this year, the 928S. And I'm big into Porsche, Hot Wheels. I feel like this one, very unlikely. I found one of these yesterday in a certain place that seems to be getting the PKs. But this is probably similar to the pink Porsche or the Lamborghinis. I'm sorry, the Ferraris. It's going to be pretty scarce for a while. Maybe it'll cool off. Who knows? I thought the Porsche Rally, the green 911 Rally, was going to be like really hot, but it was for like 2 weeks, and then it just became like a peg warmer. Like no one cared about it. Of course they care about the Super Treasure Hunt version of it, but the regular standard green, Ignition has like 15 of them in stock right now. So that's all the car opening. Here comes the talky part where I pretend to be an influencer. Someone asked, what is a hybrid? What does hybrid even mean? It kind of confused me because it seems obvious what a hybrid is. But the more I thought about it, I guess a hybrid could be a vehicle with two different types of power, motors. So it could be natural gas and gasoline, or it could be natural gas and electric. But traditionally, and comes from the hybrid speed series that I showed the other day, most often hybrid just means that it has an electric motor or more, one or more, and a gasoline powered internal combustion engine. So the only hybrid that's ever been in this family is my wife bought a really early Camry hybrid, and I didn't even know the torque they had. It had like a little 4-cylinder engine and hybrid. And one day I was at a stoplight and I took off, I launched, and I was like, whoa, this car like really moves. And this was way back in like 2007, something like that. But she wrecked it and didn't realize she didn't really need a new car. So yeah, hybrid to me just means most often it's got an electric engine and a gasoline engine. But I think technically it could be two of any type of powertrains. So what do I know? I'm not even a car guy. The other question was, do I collect RLC like high-end cars, like RLC exclusives and convention cars? And I think I've answered this before. I don't really, because they're too expensive. Here's a little story. I had to have some air conditioning work done recently on our heat pump, and the guy that came here, after he was done working, I was settling up and everything, he said, I noticed your Hot Wheels. And I was like, yeah, I kind of collect them, trade them, sell them and stuff. And he said, oh, that's cool. Probably a lot of money in that. I'm like, not really. And he's like, really? I watched this show on Netflix, like called The King of Collectors, The Golden Touch or something like that. And you should watch it. And I'd never seen it. I'd never even heard of it. So that very night, I watched the first episode of the King of Collectors, or the Collector King. And it was entertaining, but it made me realize that, to me, these things are completely different than what they are to most people. I feel like most people treat diecast cars like commodities, like they buy them like they would buy ounces of gold or ounces of silver. And it's like, it's an investment. And I'm very wealthy because I have all these diecast cars stacked up and they're still in the package, and someday they're going to be worth so much money and my kids are going to inherit them and whatever, which is fine. I don't mean to criticize that. If that's what you want it to be, that's fine. It's kind of making things more scarce for people who really just want the cars. But for me, they're just toys. Like, I want them because I think they're really neat and they're really cool. Like, I make an effort to channel my inner 10-year-old. So like, I hold a car and I'm like, wow, it's really cool and it rolls so well and the paint job is great and it'll look cool on a shelf. And they're numbered and they're kind of limited. Some of them are really hard to find, so it's fun to collect. And that's pretty much the end of it for me. Like, I have never bought a diecast vehicle speculatively, like, oh, I'm going to keep this and it's going to go up in value. I'm in the retail trade, so I do buy some. I used to buy cases, and I buy them from the shelf to resell them and kind of pay for my own hobby addiction. But I realized that I'm not going to get rich retailing diecast, and I'm not really buying anything for investment purposes. Like, it's not like, oh, that car is going to be so valuable someday. It just, I don't do it. So that's a long way of answering this question. I don't really buy cars that cost like $50, $60, $70, $300, $1,000 because that seems insane to me to spend that much on a 1/64 scale car. But some people think that, oh, if I buy it, then it'll accrue in value and I can sell it for profit, which seems to be true of certain like RLC club releases, like some cars, especially the master set that they release. Most of the people that buy those are just buying them so they can resell them on eBay for twice the money or whatever. But it's not that for me. And if you probably have gathered that through the course of watching these videos, if you've watched even 3 or 4 of them, that I'm not really in it for the bling aspect. I'm in it for the, whee, that's a cool car. And the channels that I watch are pretty much the same. Like people who just really have a passion for the cars themselves, and they're not stacking gold bricks. So that's all I got for Freestyle Friday. I do have a glory box. I think I'll show you some of that tomorrow on Saturday. I don't really have anything else to show, and it's all out of the package already, so there won't be any depackaging, decarding going on. I'll just show you what I'm pulling out of there, and I'm keeping it naive. I don't even know what's in there for the most part. I can see what's on the top, but it's pretty deep, and I don't know what lies beneath. So happy Friday, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.